Hi guys, it's Morgan from the Delaware Museum of Natural History. Today we're going to be making a paper towel roll frog cup game. So at the end you'll have a little frog and a little fly, and you throw your fly up in the air and try to catch it in the frog's mouth. That'll keep you occupied for hours. It's certainly kept me occupied for quite a bit. It's a lot of fun, and I'll just show you how to make it. So first, supplies. We're going to need a paper towel roll or a toilet paper roll. If you're using a paper towel roll, I cut it into fourths. If you're using a toilet paper roll, you can cut it just a little bit smaller. So I would say maybe the length of your finger or so. And you're also going to need construction paper, a small piece of string, a pencil, some crayons, a small, what are these called? Oh goodness. Little puff ball, scissors, and either a stapler or a hot glue gun. I'm going to be using a hot glue gun. If you decide to use that, have an adult use it because they are hot. Oh, and I also have some sticker eyes, but you can always draw them on if you don't have stickers. So first, let me clear off all my space. Oh, and a popsicle stick. These are very helpful for the end part. So first, I'm going to measure my toilet paper roll. I'm going to mark on my paper where the top of it is, and I'll probably cut about half of my sheet of paper. So I'm going to use my scissors to cut a rectangle. There we go. And this is what I'm going to wrap around my tube. Now, just so you know, you can also use paint if you're in the mood to get messy. Paint's a really fun way to cover your toilet paper tube. So I'm going to take my hot glue. Now you can use a normal glue stick to do this as well. I'm just going to use my hot glue gun because it's right here. So I'm going to pipe a line of hot glue right down the center of my roll. If you're doing this with a glue stick, you just do the same thing but with glue, or if you're doing it with normal wet glue. So I'm just gonna line up my paper and plop it on the glue, push it down, and then I'm gonna roll it around. And I'll put another line of glue where the end is going to be folded on. So I'll put some more glue. Glue. I'm just gonna roll it on. There we go. So now our roll is covered. I'm going to let that sit for just a second so it hardens. Great. Now I'm going to squish one side of my tube, and this is a great time if you've got a stapler. You can use a stapler, and you'll put a few staples here along the bottom to keep this one side shut. But I'm going to use my hot glue gun and just put a bead of glue on one part of the tube and squish it down and hold. Being careful of any hot glue that comes out at the bottom. Squeeze it, make sure it gets all nice and glued shut. I'm going to wipe off this excess glue. Now we've got the first part of our frog. Next, we have to make its little arms and legs. So using my sheet of paper, I'm going to draw out what I want my frog legs to look like. So what I would usually do is make some lines for the arm, and then I'm going to give my frog some toes. So you can do the same shape for all 4 legs. That makes it really easy. So I'm just going to fold my paper in half. And I'm going to fold it over again. I'm going to cut off this excess because it's bothering me. And I'm going to fold it one more time so that I'll get 4 whole legs out of one cut, and that way they all look exactly the same. So I'm just going to hold my paper all together and cut out my leg. This is a great way if you're ever trying to make something, a duplicate of something. Just fold your paper how many times you need to get extras. Because it's very hard to make the same shape over and over again. It's a lot easier if you just fold and cut. You could also cut out your leg and trace it out onto a piece of paper and just cut it out again. But I like to do it this way. And just about done. So there we go. Out came my 4 little legs. Now what I want to do is using either glue stick, wet glue, or hot glue, which I'm going to use since I've got it right here. We're going to stick on all of our little leggies. So I'm going to put it on the back side where the folded edge of the paper is, where it was glued. I'm just going to put a little blob of glue at the bottom for one little leg. Another on the other side for the other one. One up top for this one. And my last dot up here for my last leg. And that way when you flip it over, the frog's got some legs. So you can make your legs whatever way they want. My frog kind of looks like he's flying, and that's kind of what I want him to look like for our game. So if you'd like, you can round off the edges of your frog like I did with this one. Or you can leave it just like this. It's sort of easier that way. Now I'm going to decorate my frog. So hold on. Now if you're feeling really adventurous, you can cover the inside of the frog's mouth with construction paper to make it look red. You could paint the inside, or you could just make a little tongue to stick out. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a scrap piece of red paper, and I'm going to just draw a long oval shape. That's going to be his tongue. I'm going to cut it out. Oops, I ripped it. That's no biggie. Alright, and I'm going to just glue it into his mouth by putting a little dab of glue right on the inside. And stick my tongue in. There we go, now he's sticking his tongue out. And now we're going to make our fly. So you can use either little cotton balls, little puff balls. You could use paper, but paper can be a little tricky sometimes because it's not always heavy enough to fall back into the mouth for the game. So if you do use paper, stick a little paper clip on it and that'll weigh it down enough to go inside the mouth. So I'm going to use, I think, maybe, I'm going to use a blue little puff ball. And I'm going to add on some wings. So you can either make your wings out of paper or you can make them out of pipe cleaner like I did for this one. So I think I'm going to use pipe cleaner again. And I think I'm going to use some pink pipe cleaner to make some wings. So all you're going to do is bend it into a little loop. Take the little extra bit and loop it around. Then you're going to do the same thing with the other side to make a little bow. I'm going to wrap it around one more. And then I'm going to cut off what's left. I'm going to bend them into a little V shape. Then I'm going to hot glue them onto my cotton puff. So I'm going to put a blob of glue on there and squish my little cotton ball on top. I'm going to let that sit for a minute. Okay, and you can get really creative with your fly. It doesn't even have to be a fly. You can make a dragonfly, a butterfly, a beetle, any sort of thing you'd like your frog to catch. But I just made a very simple fly. And now you're going to need your string. It could be any kind of string you'd like. It can be ribbon, it can be yarn, just like I have. It doesn't matter. But the longer the string, the harder the game is going to be. So if you'd like it to be a little bit easier, use a little bit of a shorter string. If you want it to be harder, use a longer string. So mine's about maybe 8 inches long. And I'm going to take one end of it and hot glue it to my little fly. So I'm going to put it on the bottom of the fly. Just going to take a little blob and stick my yarn in it. Be careful not to burn your fingers, mom or dad or guardian, because it can hurt. So we're just going to make sure that it's nice and stuck on there. There we go. Then I'm going to take the other end and stick it right where I glued the tongue inside. So I'm going to just put my little blob of glue inside. Do the same thing. Stick my string on top. Being very careful. Getting glue everywhere. There we go. Now we wait for it to dry for a second. And last but not least, this part's optional, but I do find that it's a lot easier if you're trying to play the catch the fly in the mouth game. It helps if you've got a popsicle stick to put onto your frog to hold on to. So I'm going to take my little popsicle stick. You can use a straw if you've got some left over. You can even use another piece of paper towel tube. Just cut it a little bit. Straws work very well. I'm just going to put a little line there and stick this on the back. You can always color your popsicle stick. You can write your name on it. And voila. So all you have to do is throw your little fly up in the air and try to catch it with your frog. It's very difficult to show at this angle, but you'll have a ton of fun with it. Very entertaining and a super, super, super cute craft. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope this can help you stay active and happy. And we will see you later.